So we got Mercury on the move.
Yes.
It's not going backwards yet, but soon.
It's a harbinger, actually. Mercury, the planet of communication, is going from the sign of Scorpio into the sign of Sagittarius, where normally it'll spend about 3 weeks. Well, 3 weeks from now, Mercury will go retrograde in Sagittarius. So I thought it's a good idea to know now where it's going to go backwards so you can maybe ameliorate some of its more deleterious effects by knowing where it is. You won't make the mistakes. I don't know if you can stop it, but we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah, whatever you just said. Go ahead.
For Scorpio, the sign that we're in, Mercury is going into Sagittarius in their second house of money. So Scorpios have been trying very hard to reinvent themselves. And they've been trying to get their money right. And I just have to remind them that there is no get-rich-quick scheme. And that to be really careful when whatever it is you're investing in and whatever it is you're doing financially, make sure you have all the I's dotted and all the T's crossed before you sign on any kind of dotted lines, because you may end up biting off more than you can chew financially. For Sagittarians, Mercury going into their sign loosens their tongue, and Sagittarians have a tough time keeping their mouth shut on a good day. The words just kind of fall out of their mouth without them really thinking about it. When Mercury's in their sign, they get to say even more. So it's a matter of, I think with Sagittarians, you're actually going to have to rip their fingernails out to get them to stop talking over the next 3-4 weeks or so. For Capricorns, it's a good time to sit back and shut up. Mercury, they've achieved a long-standing hope, wish, goal, or objective. They're really good with that right now. And now the time is to sit back and just kind of watch things unfold. Don't really take sides because there's no reason to. Wait and see what unfolds before you go ahead and putting your 2 cents in, because something is going to be revealed that will change things for the Capricorn. And until it gets revealed, they're kind of playing with half a deck, which is just not a cool time at all. So they need to kind of sit back and just watch and see what develops. For Aquarians, Mars has been in their sign since May, and it is still in there. And now they've had a lot of struggles professionally over the last couple of months or so. But now Mercury going out of their 10th house into their 11th helps them tap their well-placed male friends and colleagues and say, okay, you owe me. I supported you. It's time for you to support me and for you to help me out. And the group will work, and it's a group of younger people, will actually work to the Aquarians' advantage. And I think that bodes well for the United States and women finally getting off their duffs and voting. I think that's an important thing. For Pisces, this energy is in their 10th house of career and public standing. And Pisces have made a lot of strides professionally. And some, they might have overreached a bit. And over this retrograde, they'll find out just how far they overreached and what they may need to cut back on a little so they can do all of it well, rather than trying to do everything well. Just pick 1 or 2 or 3 things and just do them. So it'll be a narrowing down of the Pisces professional focus. For Aries, this is in the 9th house of the law, legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance, travel, all popping up for Aries. And this is not like to Ocala and back. This is like some serious, you might need a passport to go where you're going with this kind of energy. So either legal matters go well for them, but they need to know that by the 17th of November, they've gotten about as much as they're going to get, and they shouldn't press it any further, because after that, it gets to the diminishing returns point.
Gotcha. For
Tauruses, it is a time for them to take a break. They have been going gung-ho on a variety of different projects. They've tried to, they've increased their public image a bit, and now they've got so many things in the fire, they need to just not add any more new things to it and try and manage the things they already have in place. But the important thing is, it's an important time for healing for Tauruses on a soul level, because all of the real healing goes on in here, and then it extends to the physical world. So for them in particular, it indicates a regeneration and a rejuvenation for them, which would be a cool thing. For Geminis, this energy is in their 7th house of partners, intimate one-to-one relationships, and open enemies. And Geminis everywhere are going to be evaluating their partnerships to see which ones work for them and which ones don't. And Geminis have to be particularly careful, because younger people, younger than they are, not necessarily young people, but however old the Gemini is younger than them, are going to say, hey, I'm on your side, I'm your buddy, I'm going to work with you, and they really aren't. And so they need to be really careful with who they, new best friends they need to be careful with, as well as older friends who are younger. They have to be really careful not to get sucked into that. For Cancers, this energy is in their 6th house of work, service, and responsibility. It's a good time for Cancers just to do their job to the very best of their ability. They have found they've had a very creative outlet, and they should find a way to take whatever the creative thing that they've been doing and take it from an avocation and turn it into a vocation without doing too much ado. And their responsibilities increase as well. So Depends on what those new responsibilities are, how good or bad it is.
Uh-huh.
For Leos, they just want to have fun. You know, it's a great time to be a Leo or a Leo rising. Mercury's in their 5th house of children, love affairs, sports, amusements, pleasures, anything creative, anything fun is on the Leo's to-do list. And it's on their to-do list with younger people. My guess is Leos love the holidays.
Oh.
More than anything, they love the holidays. And now guys like you that got grandbabies to decorate for will take it just to the next level and just have such a good time with it, because there's nothing like seeing the world through young people's eyes.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
You know, because they're not jaded yet. They're still bright-eyed and enthusiastic about the world. So I think it's a very fun time to be a Leo. For Virgos, not so much. For Virgos, they need to shore up their foundations at home. They've got stuff going on at home, refrigerators breaking, all kinds of stuff. And it's not really nickels and dimes. It's more like hundreds, not thousands, but hundreds. And it's just a matter of spend the money now, fix it right, nail down your foundations to something you can manage, and make sure that your home is a safe place for you to operate out of. So it's more inwardly driven than externally driven. And then for Libra, the last sign is in the 3rd house of day-to-day living, and it is the pace of their life is about to pick up to warp speed. And they too have to be careful, Libras, not to commit to more than they can do, because they'll find that anything is easier to get into than it is to get out of. And with Mercury retrograding in their 3rd house, they may end up duplicating their schedule and finding that they end up having to backtrack because they can't do it all. So they need to be really selective with what they agree to and what they don't, and don't get flattered into doing a job that doesn't pay you. So tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac, with Mercury, the planet of communication, entering Sagittarius, where it will be between now and December. So pay attention to the things you put into motion, because they could take on a life of their own.
There you go. See you next week.
Always a pleasure.